Welcome to our Comma Reading Live, Facebook Live. Today's topic is going to be about making our differences work, understanding personality types in marriage. Hi, everybody. So, welcome. And as you come in, we're just going to welcome you guys over here. And basically, I want to have a look and see where's the comments here. Okay, just a moment. Yeah, today we're going to have Cindy Leong, who is a highly sought after Enneagram personality coach and a corporate trainer. Okay, and she's going to be teaching us and also talking about this whole Enneagram approach. It's a 2,500-year-old personality profile approach. Yeah, so today we're going to welcome Cindy Leong, and here she is. Hi, Cindy.
Hello.
Cindy's based all the way in Singapore. And I really want to thank you, Cindy. You know, technology has made it possible for us to have this conversation like this so easily. But it's also stressful because, you know, technology also makes us like, oh gosh, this not working or that not working. Yeah. But it's great. So, you know, I really appreciate you for taking the time to just have this conversation today with me. And as we just like welcome the visitors that's coming in right now, I'm just gonna do a brief recap about what the topic's about. Okay, so the theme is making our differences work. How do we understand different personality types within the context of marriage? So we might know the kind of person that we married, you know, we relate to our partner through different ways, but sometimes our own personalities, we have all these differences, right? And sometimes it could be a big clash in our personalities. And so using this Enneagram approach, it can help us to minimize conflict as well. So it's something we're going to be discovering today. If you've never heard about the Enneagram before and what it's all about, today Cindy's going to be explaining it to us. Yeah. So we're just going to launch straight into this. Cindy, maybe, I want to read very quickly first your profile because I just gave you a short, brief profile because Cindy's the founder of Relationship Studio based in Singapore, and she is the highly sought after Enneagram personality coach and a corporate trainer. And she's also a member of the International Coach Federation, and a Singapore Psychological Society. Right? And she's also, this is a very long profile here. So I'm like reading this. Okay, Singapore Social Development Network, she's part of that. SDN accredited dating practitioner. And she's also the chief relationship coach of Divine Connect, a premium matchmaking agency in Singapore. Wow, we need that here. And she's got like more than 3,000 hours of one-to-one coaching under her belt. Wow, this is something I really admire, Cindy, because, you know, as an aspiring coach myself, like this is a journey, you know, I hope to get there someday.
By clocking 3,000 people and 3,000 hours.
So great. So Cindy, just tell us a little bit about the whole Enneagram, what it's all about.
So maybe I should start a little bit from my journey with Enneagram first, right?
Yes.
Although all of you know me as, you know, relationship coach, corporate trainer, to be honest, when I first learned about the Enneagram, it was really for myself. It was for my personal growth. It was for my closure, my past relationships. It's really for myself. Then when I got to know about Enneagram, my background is in psychology. So I have done a lot of personality profiling tools over the years. Like DISC, Myers-Briggs, StrengthsFinders. You know, as a psychology student, we have to do the different profiling tools, psychometric tools. But somehow something is missing with most other profiling tools, in a sense that it doesn't tell me why am I the way I am. So it kind of focuses on telling me I am like that.
Yep.
So then what's next? You know, so that becomes the biggest question. Like, what's next? What's next? Knowing I'm like that, then so what? Then what's next? So that's when I found out about Enneagram. It is a fellow senior coach who discovered about it, shared with me. And when I say, I see that it really works. It tells me the why. And now I know, it makes sense of my relationships in the past, why some of it has to fail. Okay.
Wow.
Yes. And because I didn't know better also. And then when I learned deeper about the Enneagram, I went to the US to learn that. And then I continued to pick up other skills from other trainers, other coaches that comes from US to Singapore. And so I continue to sharpen my skills. And that's when I realized, ta-da, this should be something everyone should be even equipped with before they even get into relationships.
Wow.
So that is when it all started, when I met the founder of another dating agency, which has been doing events for the last 15 years. So the story is, you can't be just doing events after events and after events, like you attend events after events, but you don't get anybody after that. So what's wrong, right? So that's where the self-awareness, self-development comes in. And that's where we also use the Enneagram as a profiling tool to help them with their self-awareness before we matchmake them. Yeah.
Okay. So I think it really, as you said, the self-awareness part, that's the big thing. That's a big word actually, because I think the key to having a good understanding of your own partner starts with understanding yourself first, right? And then trying to make things work, because wow, I think it's already quite complex to live a single life and be a single person, and then when you add another complex person into into that relationship, gosh, it's a lot of things can just go wrong.
Yeah, I always tell people that in fact your personality blind spot usually translate to your leadership blind spot at work and also relationship blind spot, because it's you in general, it's still you. You're the only common denominator in all these relationships. So really getting to know more about yourself will take you a long way.
Yeah. That's true. So Cindy, can you tell us a little bit more about this whole Enneagram? I think from what I understand, there's 9 personality types in the Enneagram. Yeah. Can you just elaborate a little bit more about this?
Okay. So 9 types. Usually we call them the Enneagram types. It's not just personality, because Enneagram measures deeper than personality traits. It goes deeper into what we call the ego structure, your worldview, so how you see the world. So, for example, given an opportunity, would you be excited naturally about it? Like just something new? Get a new way of doing things, try new things, or going to a new environment. So just now I was having a chat with one client who is thinking of doing the Enneagram for the kids, right? So then how to support kids. So I actually gave her this example, right? If you bring your kid to a new environment, is this kid literally excited about it, blending well, or is the kid very anxious? So different kids will react differently, right? And that goes into the ego structure, even since young. Then obviously after that, there will be learned behavior or the trained behavior, where we learn over the years to be more socially appropriate, to be wiser, to be more appropriate in a bigger situation, for example. So the ego structure basically talks about your core motivation. So it's true, some people are naturally more anxious when going into
like me.
Really?
I'm naturally more anxious kind of person. I don't know. I'm always anxious about things.
Okay. And then there will be some types that are naturally more excited. Like it just energizes them. It excites them with new things. So the same being presented with the same thing, how come 2 persons will have 2 different or even opposite responses? And that can be explained by the Enneagram, the ego structure.
So I think like it's the Enneagram as a personality type. I mean, how personality profile, how is it different from all the other personality profiles out there? Because we have the DISC profile and all that. Yeah. So I'm just clarify
so that was same as what I was talking about when I was a student. Trying out the different profiling tests, right? So most of those profiling tests kind of tell me what I'm like.
So they don't talk about the core.
They don't talk about the core. They don't tell me my core motivation. They also don't tell me how I can change.
You mean the Enneagram can tell you how you can give suggestions about how you can change?
Yes, that's where the personal development bit comes in, like what you can do next to work on yourself, to further develop certain areas, or even to better manage the blind spot.
So maybe can you share with us, Cindy, like some examples of couples that you've helped that has used the Enneagram approach and it's been helpful for them?
Okay, so maybe I would share a very classic one. This particular, so it's a type 6 wife and a type 7 husband.
Okay, so you have to clarify what's type 6 wife like.
I'm going to start by telling you all what type 6 and type 7 is about. Okay, type 6 is usually I would say the government servant, civil servant. Very stable. They don't like changes. They can work in there for the 20, 30 years, right? So they are the kind that don't like change.
Okay.
Usually very conservative, not a big risk taker. And typically for type 6, their core need, their biggest need is security, stability.
Okay.
They don't like change. And because of that need for stability, they tend to also look out for what is dangerous, that can harm their current stability, right? So what could go wrong? So naturally, the attention goes to worst case scenario.
I see.
Okay, so typically what would be the misunderstanding? People tend to see type 6s as one so pessimistic. Why are you always what could go wrong? And in fact, when good things happen, they are not too happy also. Because for them, their mindset is always good things don't need to plan, If it happens, it happens. But when bad things, I need to make plans. Hence, you can see their mind is always very preoccupied by plans, contingency plans, troubleshooting plans, what could go wrong.
Wow.
Very anxious time.
Wow, yes. I can think of some people like that.
Yeah. And some other books, they call them the skeptic loyalists. They're very loyal. You stay there for a long, long time, like in a job or in a friendship. But they're also very skeptical. So it's the skeptic loyalist. Okay. They tend to have issues with trust, and they take quite some time to observe somebody before they trust someone.
Wow. Any of our viewers out there like that, if you can identify, please type yes in the comments. Yeah. Wow. And that's a type 6, right? 6. Okay. So it's a loyalist who's into security and has issues with trust. Okay. So what's the type 7? Like you said, that's a type 7 husband.
7 is like the exact opposite, you see. So type 7s are the happy-go-lucky, YOLO. You only live once. Try new things, take risks. Very positive, optimistic, and even if they try something and fail, doesn't matter. Move on, right? At least I know that this method didn't work. Or they are very good at framing, so they will say like, "Oh, at least I tried."
More optimistic as well.
Yes. Or I'm one step closer to the correct way of doing it. Because since I tried this, it doesn't work, right? So I'm one step closer. So I'm very good at looking at the silver lining.
Is Albert Einstein a type 7?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
So type 7 is like Robin Williams.
Okay. Wow.
On the downside, usually the humorous person, the joker, right? On the downside, they may not be so good at expressing sadness.
So is it quite common? Type 7s marry type 6?
I won't say common, but I've seen quite a lot of pairs.
A lot of pairs like that.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they complement each other, right? As you can see, exact opposite. They complement each other in the first place. So I always share with people about the 3 different stages of relationship building. The first stage is always what we call synergy. So different types and different types, they can have different synergy. Like if you are the same type, you feel like, it's similar, the way you think is similar as the way I think, and so therefore we can click. So that's where the synergy is. Or even opposite ones can have synergy. Like the type 6 and the type 7, right? Like what I can do, you cannot do. What you can do, I cannot do. Yeah, so we complement each other. So that is another form of synergy. So every type and every type would have synergy, but that's not the end. Right? This is a honeymoon stage. Yeah? After that, there is always a conflict stage. And that is where people cannot handle it. Yeah. So like you see the type 6 and the type 7 couple. They have that synergy at first, right? Complement each other.
True.
Yeah. The type 6 gives the type 7 husband stability.
Yes.
Right? And the type 7 husband will always bring the type 6 wife out for some sort of adventure.
Adventures.
Yeah. So something, so it brings out a different side of her that she would otherwise never have done it on her own, if not for the husband.
True.
So you can see how they complement each other at the synergy phase. And after that, that's where the conflict comes in, and they cannot handle. The type 7 will always blame the type 6 for being too pessimistic. And then the type 6 will always blame the type 7 husband for being overly optimistic, unrealistic.
Wow. So what do you advise a couple like this? Sometimes some people can say things like, oh, it's just me, I'm just like that, right?
Yes, that's when after they learn about the Enneagram, the number one ethical use of Enneagram is that you should never use your past results to justify bad behavior.
Okay. So you can always change. Change is possible. You can't just say that I'm boxed in like this and this is my personality type, so you just have to adapt to me.
Alright, then that it doesn't help in any relationship building.
Yeah. So how then can we, knowing this, so let's say we know our strengths, we know our weaknesses, and how do the couples practically work towards overcoming these differences?
Finding the balance. So at the end of the day, that's where the teething issues are, and we recognize that, right? So the first thing to do to solve any problem is to know where the problem lies, to even pinpoint where it is. The differences between the two of you. You all like each other in the first place because of reasons that you have listed.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And now it's also the flip side of the same coin that the two of you all need to deal with. Yeah, that's why I don't buy the reason where people always tell me we break up or we divorce because of personality clashes. In the first place, you already know that you are very different individuals. But that was also the same reason you're attracted to each other.
Yes.
So it's about working things out now. It's not about the clashes, but how to work things out. So drawing boundaries. And that is also a blind spot for type 7, because type 7 as a man in the household, right? Doesn't know how to take the lead.
Okay.
Because it's fun, just fun, no need to confront, no need to talk about serious things, no laugh about it, joke about it, sweep it under the carpet, things will be fun. So that is also recognizing the blind spot, you see. So type 7 I would say it's a tendency. I would say all type 7s are like that. In a sense, we talk about mastery level in the Enneagram. There's a low mastery version that perpetually sweep things under the carpet. And when sometimes a problem is so big, they couldn't solve it, and sometimes it really result in suicide behavior. So that could be the low mastery, right? Then moderate mastery is like okay, but not high yet. So they can swing between high and low mastery behavior sometimes. A high mastery person will be more stable. They are able to not just be in the type, but also explore the traits of other types. So type 7 will be more stable. They would be more realistic. They will be able to think through what could go wrong, what are the worst scenario, instead of being optimistic, just jump in. Okay, so that's the higher mastery.
So what you're saying, if I correct me if I'm wrong, so what you're saying is that it is really possible to sort of like adjust and change yourself to even take on certain types of traits from other types of personalities, right? Is that that's exactly what
the core doesn't change. You are still that type. Okay, your core type, remember, it measures your ego structure, the way you see the world, the natural tendencies, the natural motivation. However, when you adopt other types, especially the positive ones, it helps you to be more versatile. which is great because at any given situation, you can't just react your one way, right? Your all types way. It cannot be the most effective sometimes. So you need to learn to respond or to react in other ways. It's taking on the traits other times.
So I think like a lot of times in marriage, we learn that actually we need to change ourselves first before we want. Like a lot of people say, I want to, why this, why my partner cannot change, cannot be like this. So, we always hope for the change for the other person. But then what we're saying is that we need to master our own weaknesses first as well, right? And so that we can learn to adapt and blend together with our partner and our spouse.
Yes, it's true. So what happened was I shared with the type 6 wife one way she can make a change. Okay, like for example, the husband is type 7, YOLO, spontaneous. He likes to try something new randomly. Like, hey, why not let's do this? Why not? Hey, let's go to the park. Or hey, suddenly hungry. Let's have some food. Go see what is there in the kitchen and then we cook some food. So it's really random. For a type 6 wife, this kind of thing gives her a lot of anxiety. It's like, so sudden. Like, what this happened? What did that happen?
She needs to plan.
Exactly. And this is too spontaneous for her. So my advice for her is that, look, if this doesn't cost you an arm or a leg, it's nothing serious. Like some food, right? Take a walk in the park. Won't die, right?
Yeah.
So just go with the flow.
Yeah.
You got to understand this is so difficult for a type 6 personality to just, go with the flow, but I need to know the plan. So the head will be like battling, inside her. It's like, what's going to happen? What if something bad happens? What if, right? Being so anxious. But I tell her, don't show all that. Don't let it out. Don't let your husband know all that. You are anxious, that is your own struggle. You don't pass it on to him, right? He's very excited about this new idea. And he's an adult, right? He's not going to put you in some dire danger, right?
Yeah.
So just go with it. So you say, hey, hungry, let's go and see what's there to make in the kitchen. Let's go and have a look. Be excited and go along. Okay. So she tried. And she did. The husband was pleasantly surprised, obviously.
Yeah.
Because that's what injured her.
Yes.
Yeah. You can imagine the relationship was so bad to the point that the husband don't bother to do any things with the wife anymore. I don't even want to suggest it because all my suggestions were always.
Then he will get frustrated.
Because she's exactly. So it was to this point where the breaking point of the relationship that the person couldn't even be bothered to tell me things like, what relationship is this, right? No point in this relationship even. Yeah, then that was when that was when I gave suggestions like for the type 6 life, she got to work on her own blind spot. Her own blind spot is that the need to know everything before embarking on the journey. Cannot. Your husband is not right. And again, if this doesn't cause an arm or a leg, just go.
Okay.
Also pleasantly surprised as well. You were okay, nothing happened.
Okay. Wow, Cindy, I just want to check with our viewers here who are watching. I feel like your connection's breaking a little bit for me over on this side. I'm not so sure whether it's the same for the viewers, the internet connection. But I still catching you in between. But anyway, just as a little break for all our viewers here, I'm here with Cindy Leong, who is a Enneagram personality coach, and we are talking about the topic of making our differences work, okay, in the context of marriage and within different personality types. So if you do have any questions about Enneagram, you can just post it in the comment section, or if you already know your Enneagram type and you know your spouse's Enneagram type and you have any questions about that, you can also post it in our chat, and I'll actually be monitoring it. Okay, so yeah, that I can see what are the comments as well. Okay, so I want to ask Cindy, so now we talk about the that couple just now, about who are very different. Is there a possibility that two very similar people actually end up marrying one another?
Yeah, possible too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there is possibility two Enneagram types of the same, same Enneagram type, they actually end up marrying one another. Because I know when I was dating last time in my failed relationships, there was one of the persons I was dating had really similar weaknesses as me, and actually that irritated me too.
Yes. So you can see even similar ones also have other blind spots. Yeah, are other conflicting points or teething issues to work through.
So that's more common or not as common?
It's 50-50, because I always do this in my workshops. Like, you notice you and your current partner, are you all more similar or more opposite? Yeah. And I do get 50-50. Yeah, so the results is really very clear. Similar ones, you can work out the relationship. Opposite ones, you can also work out the relationship. But it's just that you face a different set of conflict, different set of leading issues.
Okay. So, Cindy, is there anything that you can tell our audience here about what are some of the tools that they can take, alongside with them, if once they know their Enneagram type? Is there anything that you would recommend to them as a relationship coach as well? So, it's just advice.
I would say, okay, step one, a lot of people go and do this online free test. But I must say something about online free test. It's not 100% accurate, that's for sure.
Okay.
And I do get people who have come to us that say, so I did this online free test. And then after I talk to them and assess them, right, the results are not the same. They are not that type that the free test says. So I would say go to a proper professional to know your type. That's the first thing first.
Okay.
Because it doesn't serve you well at all if you got your type wrong.
Okay.
Then everything else wouldn't make sense really. Whatever you're going to do next. And remember, Enneagram is a framework for self-discovery and for growth. So it is never a tool for you to box yourself in. It is for you to locate where you are, like a GPS. Like you're lost, right? You need to know where you are, ma. Yeah. You cannot just tell me, I'm lost. But tell me, where are you first? So Enneagram type is your type, is the first thing, your GPS. Where are you right now? Okay. And then the next step is then how to grow, how to work through the differences. I would say if you can grab hold of some online classes or physical classes that you can attend. It's very different from reading a book. There are people that came to me and tell me, I read books for the last 2-3 years, but I still cannot grab anything from it because it's so different.
Yeah.
The book doesn't give you feedback. Right? You're just reading it. But when you go for a class, you can have interaction with people. And I always tell people, you have to learn Enneagram in an intuitive way. You cannot learn it in a technical way, whereby, this type is logical, analytical. Okay, these are just words, terminologies. But you don't really know it's like when you see the person, you see. So when you use it in an intuitive way, you are able to sense. You are able to feel, this type tends to make me feel a certain way. Like this type tends to be more long-winded. This type tend to be very straight. Okay, this type tend to be like maybe the happy-go-lucky one. Tends to be all over the place. Maybe so this is how the types make you feel. So you are more sensitive in spotting the type. And then you are also able to observe yourself, what I call self-observation. Like, how does this kind of people create a reaction in me? Like, do I find myself more impatient because of the way this person is? Or do I find myself being more patient, having also patient towards people like this? So what is it? How does the type make you feel? So this will be much more effective in learning the Enneagram. And then obviously, next thing is if you are facing challenges, do not hesitate to go to a professional coach,
Okay.
a neutral party. I'm not saying this is a coach. I mean, you don't even have to come to me. Go to another coach. That's fine. But
Yeah.
you need a neutral party. Because within the relationship, always you against me. So I don't know who is the normal. Am I too extreme or are you too extreme or who is normal? What is the middle ground? You need a mediator. You need a neutral party, a professional that tell you.
And sometimes I guess like with as a couple, like you always think different people, most people would think that my way is right. Your way is you have to bend towards my way and do the things that I do. So I guess having a neutral party, as you said, it really does help to listen out and just understand like, okay, who's the one who needs to make some adjustments.
Just now we were talking about an example of how having a third neutral party come in would be helpful. So I remember this couple, the husband was, rather the wife was blaming the husband. So the wife asked me, Cindy, how can I ask my husband to stop doing things that I don't like him to do? So I'm like, okay, so it seems like it's the husband's fault, right? Why the husband keep thing that your wife don't like? Okay, it seems like on the superficial level. And then I asked her, like, what is it that you didn't like? And she said, I don't like him touching my butt.
Okay.
And then I'm like, is that really his fault? Right? Then after that, I put off and I asked her, how are you with your body image?
Okay.
And then she said, no good. Right? She's not even comfortable in her own skin.
Okay.
And hence, she's not comfortable with the husband doing that. And then I'm like, hey, look, your husband wanting to hug you and touch your wife. It's, it's not a bad thing. I mean, if he's doing that to other women, then that's worse, right? It shows that he wants to get close to you. It shows, that he wants to be intimate with you. And like, I am interested in you. But for her, because she has her own body image issue, and that is why she's not comfortable with that. So in the end, she recognized that as an issue, and she continued a sessions with me on self-esteem, self-confidence, and body image. So after that, she feels better about herself.
Okay.
And she has no issue with her.
I see.
So you see, sometimes the problem is not with the other party.
Yes. Yeah.
And you need a third party to be able to help.
It's that creating that aha moment for yourself and being self-aware of all this. Then you're able to change these things.
Yeah,
Wow.
and probably the husband is aware that is her issue.
Yeah.
So she'll find you like, why? I just want to show you my affection. How come you didn't like it?
Yeah.
Right? For him, he will probably have that frustration also. But I cannot show you affection the way I like it.
Okay. So, Cindy, I understand that you do have the Enneagram test available for people out there if they want to want to do their test for themselves, because we talked about this, like there are free online tests, but then it may not be accurate. So, is there a link or something that we can share with people out there so that they can go and do the test? How much is it?
So if you were to do the test, it's 100 ringgit, and what you can do is go to our website, Relationship Studio, and then go to where the test is, or you can just go to the contact page and send us an email and say, I would like to do the test.
Okay.
And we would be able to get back to you on the link to do the test and the instruction.
Okay. All right. That's great. Or you can send the link to me. Is that something that I can send it out to others as well? So that we can send it on our newsletter?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
So it's under our Relationship Studio page. Relationshipstudio.com.
Relationshipstudio.com. Oh, okay. Yeah. Not the SG one.
Both are the same.
The same. Okay. Okay, all right. Relationshipstudio.com. So if you want to do the Enneagram personality test, it's 100 ringgit And just head over to that site and you can find it there, the link.
Yeah.
Right. Are the results instantaneous?
Yes, it's immediate.
Okay, it's immediate. And if the couples want to have someone walk alongside with them to try to explain and understand this a little bit more, I understand you do have a presence here in Malaysia. Is that service available for people actually?
Yes, so it depends on whether you want to do couple coaching. We could do that, or if you want to attend a class, online class right now. So we do online classes for corporates, and couples, and individuals. So now I cannot travel there, unfortunately. In the past, I traveled every month, but now everything is online. So we have online classes. We explain about the different types. But I look at this not just as a tool to understand your spouse better, but in general is to understand everybody around you better.
Yes.
Right? Your bosses, your colleagues, your difficult clients, why are they like that?
Yeah.
It will help you a lot.
Okay, great. Wow, I'm just over here. Okay, so basically, those people who want to be able to understand themselves a lot more, the Enneagram is a really good personality tool to understand your core motivations. I think when I did the test, and I did I'm one of those ones who did the free personality test online. I found that I was like a type 3. Yeah, so I basically found out that I'm more of a achiever type of person trying to do that. So I think understanding this, now we'll try and get this done properly, and hopefully you'll be able to understand myself a lot better as well. Yeah. So thank you so much, Cindy, for everything that you have taken the time off. So sorry for the technical glitch halfway through. And I really appreciate it. It's nice chatting with you and getting to know you as well.
It's my pleasure to share whatever I know, my experiences, and how I've helped people. So other people don't make the same mistakes. Yes. The best way to learn is really to learn from other people's mistakes.
And that's why you're a coach, right? Like that's precisely, you really want to be able to assist people in this situation. Thanks so much, Cindy. Thank you.
Thank you.